Today the world needs peace. We all need peace. I shall speak to you about peacemaking, about peacemakers, and the concepts which Henry Newman, our Dutch-born priest, presents. This priest was a most popular spiritual writer. The attitude of peacemaker is never one of judging anybody, neither his neighbor close by, nor his neighbor far away, neither friend nor enemy. It tells us the peacemakers are persons whose hearts are so fixed on God, they do not need to evaluate, criticize, or weigh the importance of the others. They look at people belonging to all nations as fellow human beings, fellow sinners, fellow saints, men and women who need to be listened to, looked at and cared for with the love of God, and who need to be given the space to consider that they belong to the same human family. Henry Newman says about his spiritual struggle, I must confess that one of the hardest struggles is to accept myself, to affirm my own person as being loved, to celebrate my own being alive. Sometimes it seems that there are evil voices hidden deeply in our hearts, trying to convince us that I am worthless, useless, and even dreadful. It might sound strange, but these dark inner voices are sometimes most powerful when families and friends, students and teachers and supporters and sympathizers cover us with praises. In us, there is self-rejection, self-hate, and ill feeling that makes us feel low and unable to forgive ourselves and others. This makes us self-accusing, apologetic, and even self-defeating, thus forgetting the grace of God that we have been given and that we have been forgiven. The ability to forgive ourselves leads us to be and become the peacemakers. We need to trust in life. To live is to face the unknown over and over again. Life needs trust. We never know exactly how we will feel, think, and behave next week, next year, or in a decade. Essentially, living requires trust in an unknown future that needs surrender to the mystery of the unpredictable. This needs deep trust. The deep trust leads to deep peace. There is an old piece of wisdom that comes from the 4th century monks of Egyptian desert. Do not fight the devil directly. The desert fathers felt that a direct confrontation with the forces of evil needs so much of spiritual maturity and holiness that few would be ready to fight that way. Instead of giving so much of importance to the prince of darkness, they advised their disciples to focus on the Lord of light, and thus indirectly but inevitably undo the power of the demon. The desert fathers thought that the direct confrontation of the demon would mean giving more attention to the demon that the demon is seeking for. Once it gains our attention, it seduces us. That is the story of the human fall. Eve's first mistake was to pay heed to the serpent and consider him worthy of a response. When Satan has our attention, it was not hard for Satan to make Eve to eat the forbidden fruit. This is to tell the peacemakers there is a danger that peacemakers themselves will become victims of evil. The devil can attack them. The word of Jesus goes right into the heart of our struggles. Jesus tells us, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who treat you badly. Matthew chapter 6 verses 27 to 28. The more we reflect on the above words, the more I consider them as a test for the peacemakers. What our enemies deserve is not our anger, ill feeling, rejection, or disdain, but our love. Spiritual directors always stressed that love for the enemy is the cornerstone of the message of Jesus. The peacemaker says yes, a humble yes. The word humble comes from the Latin word humus, which means soil. Humble people are close to soil and they are able to see their lives deeply connected with all their lives. In the countryside, we can see the simple and humble lives of people. The simple life and humble life is the way to life of peace. Peacemakers know the true peace is a divine gift, which has nothing to do with human popularity. Peace is like life itself. A time spent with a sick person may be a way of making peace. Jesus says, learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart. Matthew 11:29. It is reality by God's grace that all divisions among people are removed and unity is restored. Today, ever more, the world, nations, communities, families, people, individuals needs peace. Let us be peacemakers. Let us pray with St. Francis of Assisi, Lord, make me an instrument of peace. Thank you.